Welcome to Better Life, Better Business, your go-to podcast for how you can grow your business, double your productivity and time off, work smarter and not harder. Brought to you by local business coaching expert Christoph Nauer, CEO of Balance 6 in Walnut Creek, California.
Welcome back to Better Life, Better Business with local business coach and time management expert Christoph Nauer of Balance 6. Christoph is also an Amazon bestseller of the book From No Time to Free Time, 6 Steps to Work-Life Balance for Business Owners. And he also just received an Author's Award from Take Center Stage. I'm your host, Rebecca Troxel, founder and CEO of Rebecca's Vault. Christoph, we've talked about quite a few things that can help your viewers be more efficient with their time. But I have learned recently that most people automatically think that you only need time management if you're bad with your time. I was hoping you could break down for us just exactly what is time management.
Well, there's so many different opinions on that topic and ideas and thoughts and definitions. So this is just another one. There's so much out there that's floating around. I think, part of it is really for you and our listeners to find the one that makes sense to them.
Absolutely.
What it is, it's the preparation and monitoring of time spent on different tasks. Quite often people don't have a clue where that time goes. And if the time just flies and goes away and you don't know where it went, there's not much you can do about it. So in particular, to increase performance, efficiency, and productivity, that's why we need to know where the time goes.
Mm-hmm.
So a time management program can help you find and fix bottlenecks or leaks in your processes, eliminate unnecessary work from your day, and increase your productivity. Sometimes I call myself a business plumber. And that usually gets people's attention because nobody has a clue what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So I say I help business owners find leaks where they leak time and money.
Nice. I like that.
I thought I'd throw it in there as a little, humor. So we'll look now at the list of critical time management skills. Together, these skills really will help you implement a system or a program to increase your productivity and reduce your stress.
Perfect. And from what I know about you, these tools are going to be something that anyone, whether you're good or bad at time management, can use to be more efficient with your time.
Absolutely. And just briefly to mention something, if you tell yourself that you're not good at time management, then you're kind of reinforcing that message, because 95% of everything we do is driven by the subconscious mind. And if the subconscious mind believes that I'm no good at time management, then that's exactly what's going to happen. So just, for you listeners, you want to tell yourself that you're fantastic at managing your time, that it is easy for you to manage your time. And I know the conscious mind will laugh when you say that, but the conscious mind doesn't matter, okay? So anyway, now that we have gone off on a tangent here, let's get back to what we were talking about. Number one, the whole idea of prioritizing. And of course, Rebecca and most of our listeners, that I've done a lot of stuff on this topic before. So if you only implement one of the skills on this list, I would choose this one. Prioritizing your daily workload is a great way to score some fast productivity points.
Absolutely.
By prioritizing your workload for the day, you will be able to focus on your most important task first and set aside those that aren't absolutely necessary. Now, that takes a little bit of self-discipline because we usually like to rather do the easier tasks too.
Right.
So before you start the day, make a list of all the tasks you need to get done. Then put the most important ones at the top. When you have your list, read through it again, starting at the bottom, and pick out the tasks that can be put off for another day, or even completely eliminated. Any meaningless task, you can actually toss that altogether.
Nice, yeah.
So take those off your to-do list because that just clutters it, okay? And it confuses you and can also sidetrack you. Now that you have prioritized this list of tasks, You can then plan your day around that. You will spend less time doing meaningless tasks and things that don't need your time at this point, and more time focusing on those tasks that move your business and personal well-being forward.
That seems easy enough. And those definitely are tools that anyone should be reminded of regularly. So check that off the list. What's next?
Well, the big D, delegating.
Hate this one and love this one all at the same time.
Delegating tasks will help you get back more time while still being super productive. Delegating tasks simply means passing on to somebody else. Usually you'll want to delegate low-level repetitive tasks to a trustworthy employee, coworker, or outsource the task. This will free up time so that you can do the things nobody else can do. And this will really drastically increase your productivity. And for some of my clients, I actually recommend that they put a little sticky note on the computer that says delegate. There's a constant reminder, so that they don't forget.
Yep.
Next, we're going to jump into the whole idea of task scheduling.
I do like this one.
All right. If you'd like to take prioritizing to the next level and supercharge your productivity, you have to try task scheduling. This involves taking your prioritized to-do list and add due dates to every item. By setting a deadline, you're giving yourself a sense of urgency to get a task done. Now, for those of you who are fancy techie people, you can use a to-do app like Todoist. I've never heard that before, but hey.
Me neither.
But some people are techie and there's an app for everything nowadays.
There really, really is.
And I'm not an app guy. Okay, I'm simple paper and pencil guy and a Word document on the computer. Whatever works for you. But check it out. It's spelled Todoist. This can help you create and prioritize and schedule all your daily and weekly and monthly and yearly tasks. So it can be helpful. Again,
nice.
People are different. For some people, my trainer and mentor, Brian Tracy, he's a, pen and paper kind of guy. So, but I know the younger generations, they're all on the phone. They use apps for everything. So check it out and see if that's something that's doable. And as long as it doesn't take you months to learn how to use it.
For sure.
And the next one, of course, is a wonderful one, right? Overcome procrastination. Right? Now, listeners, if you procrastinate, be honest, are you? And if so, what does that do for your business? Well, everybody can overcome procrastination. And again, it goes back to something that most of us don't like. Discipline, self-discipline. Okay. So it can be tempting to put off certain things, especially when you're not looking forward to whatever it is you're avoiding. Procrastination is a real time hog, and it can severely impact your productivity. And the fact is, the task is not getting done. It doesn't matter how long you procrastinate on, unless you tackle it, or like we talked about before, delegate it and give it off to somebody else. So yes, overcoming procrastination isn't easy, but it can be done. And I can help you with strategies to overcome your habit of procrastination so that you can get more done.
Absolutely. It's my nature that I'm actually a huge procrastinator, and it's such a challenge to get over. But once I start doing a task, it's not nearly as daunting as I thought it would be. So if I just buckle down and eat that frog, it usually is pretty easy to handle.
Yes, and then doesn't it feel like $1 million when it's done?
Totally. It's like, that's done. You feel lighter, you feel relieved. It's perfect. So sometimes you just got to go, okay, let's do it. And once you get halfway through it, you're like, yeah, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Right. And then it gives you new energy. It motivates you to tackle the next thing and so forth. While procrastinating has the exact opposite effect.
Absolutely.
So then, of course, in our society, a lot of us deal with stress. So An overwhelming workload fueled by a long list of tasks we've put off is sure to raise our stress levels.
Absolutely.
And so when you talked about overcoming procrastination, when you actually do tackle the thing, your stress level goes down. Now, it's important to deal with stress in a healthy and mindful way. One of the best ways of doing it is by being proactive. That means doing the things that you know you have to get done and eliminating stress before it even begins.
Absolutely.
And we can do this by implementing effective time management strategies.
Amazing.
Those in the list, for instance. Other things like meditation, and taking some well-needed time away from work, time off, lunch breaks, stretch breaks, etc. Especially now that we're all sitting in front of a computer all day long on Zoom, it is important to have time blocked for us to stretch and move around. Otherwise, like right now, my back is sore,
Yep.
Then one thing that's, for whatever strange reason, is really big in our society, the whole idea of multitasking.
Oh.
But sorry, folks, I got bad news for you. It is not a good idea. So avoid multitasking. Don't listen to those people who say it's a good thing. It's not. And
Nope.
if you don't believe me, talk to Brian Tracy.
For sure.
That's another thing I learned from him. He's very clear on that. So many of us assume that multitasking is an efficient way of getting things done and getting more done. But in reality, when you concentrate just on one thing, you do a better job. And, don't we want to do a good job for our clients? We want to do quality work, because if we work with them and our mind is a million miles away, or we do something else, they usually pick up on that. And I don't think people like it when you're supposed to be on a call or talk to them or do something for them when you do something else. So,
for sure.
So that goes back to use your to-do list with the prioritized tasks and deadlines, and to tackle one task at a time. Some folks are familiar with the Pomodoro clock. So if you want to use that, you can do that. That way you can get hyper-focused on your task without the side effects of burnout.
That's very good advice. I just had this conversation the other day about multitasking, and I don't even think multitasking is possible. So I try to avoid it at absolutely all costs, and just usually focusing on what I have to accomplish in a quiet and calm setting, usually at the start of my day, is a very helpful way to make sure that I'm focused on getting everything done while avoiding that crazy multitasking.
Well, I think you said something very important there, Rebecca, knowing when you're at your best. There's certain tasks that require us to be our best and our sharpest and most present, and other tasks that are relatively mundane or simple that can be done when we're somewhat tired. And knowing that about ourselves is really important. And so when we plan our day and schedule things, those challenging tasks should be done while we're at our best and not when we're halfway asleep.
For sure. I agree. And I like to start very, very early in my day because it's nice and quiet. There's nothing going on, and I can be super hyper focused on exactly what I need to do and know that there's nothing distracting me or going to pull me away from what I'm doing.
Right. Yes. And I think somehow for me, it's almost my body is now sending me a message. Hey, time to get up. You ready?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, but it's only whatever it is, 5:30 or whatever time it is. I'm like, but the body says, yeah, that's fine. You got enough sleep. So get moving.
Exactly.
So, and you're right. That's sometimes at the time when you have by yourself, it's quiet, it's peaceful. And, so many successful people have one thing in common. They begin the day early. They allow themselves to sit down, relax, prepare the day. And if you get up earlier, you're calmer, you're more creative, you're more transparent. And as the day progresses, your energy levels begin to fail, which affects productivity. But so if you have a morning routine that you can create, that it really sets you up to play at a 10, as I said, that's what you really want. And each person that's different for each person,
Yeah.
But that way, for me personally, it is a half hour of meditation and then a half hour of my stationary bike, and that sets me up to get, first mentally just to, move from sleep into non-sleep mode, which is perfect for me for meditation, and then get up and get the juices flowing.
Absolutely.
Each person is different, Then, of course, taking regular breaks. I know this is frowned upon. People still, we have a work lunch. So we eat and work at the same time. I'm sorry, you're not more productive.
Awful. Yeah.
So if you're tired and anxious, take a 10-minute to 15-minute break. Doesn't hurt. Get up, walk around, have a cup of coffee if you want, or something else. Excessive stress can affect your body and your productivity and your health. Let's face that, So have small breaks planned throughout the day. It's not an afterthought. So don't wait till you're exhausted or your back hurts to do something, have it planned. This is my time.
Absolutely.
And then during the time, do take a break.
Yes. Breaks are super important. I find they totally help me get refreshed, refocused, and help me eliminate that overwhelm. Speaking of which, what's another way, Christoph, you would recommend people avoid overwhelm?
Well, there's a word, starts with an N and ends with an O. Learning to say no. And, most people have heard of Warren Buffett,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And when he was asked, the secret to his success, he did say, I just say no to anything that is not really currently serving me.
Absolutely.
Now, if a well-to-do guy like Warren Buffett can do that, why can you and I not do that?
Exactly.
So politely refuse extra assignments if you believe you're already overwhelmed. After all, you already have a big workload from your daily to-do list. Why would you add something else to it?
Absolutely.
Give yourself permission to say no and there's so many different ways to say no. At this point, I cannot add anything else. But I'll be happy to do that for you next week or in
Absolutely.
2 weeks. Let's face it. If you call your dentist, you're not going to tell the dentist that you want to see him or her the next day at a particular time.
No.
Right? Well, that's right. They tell you when they're available. So
absolutely.
We need to do the same.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I have gotten much better at that because of you. And it's actually quite possibly the one tip that has saved me the most is being able to say no. And so I just have to tell you, thank you. This was such a great discussion today. Thank you for these great tools that literally any of your viewers can use, no matter how good you are at time management. And if you or someone you know would like help and guidance to be more efficient with their time and grow their business, make sure you check out Christoph's website, balance6.biz. There you can learn more about how to contact Christoph and get his free report, 5 secrets for putting your business growth on autopilot. Thank you for coming back and joining us. And until next time, keep working on these great time management tools so you can have a better life and a better business.
Thank you very much, Rebecca, as always. And in case you'd like to get my book, you can get that from my website as well. It's right there with a link to Amazon. So we'll
excellent.
See you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. This week's episode of Better Life, Better Business is brought to you by CA&C Video Productions. Since 1985, CA&C Video has been providing live streaming, event production, and analog to digital transfer services. They captured those life-changing moments, preserving your history for current and future generations. Because your history matters. Visit their website at cacvideo.com. Thank you so much for your sponsorship.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to another episode of Better Life, Better Business with business and time management coach Christoph Nauer with Balance 6, the leading business and time management company in Northern California. Visit them at balance6.biz.